Look at all those beautiful faces and welcome back. This is your man Warrior and we are going to do a special two-part video. We're going to talk about, is the new marquee packs worth it? Very specifically, the rebuild of the pack. I hope I'm catching everybody before you go and spend money. I'd like you to hear my 2 cents first, and then we're going to also test out the new ship in this video. So we're going to talk about the pack, but we're going to go ahead and go into the forum post really quick because they've made some changes to the marquee pack that they haven't done in the past. Traditionally, a marquee character or ship is $9.99 and gives you a singular star boost. It basically is there for anybody who's a dolphin or a whale to speed up or accelerate the farming of that particular ship or character. They're changing the character ship's cadence a little bit. So the new bundle is going to be $29.99 instead of $9.99. That's right, 3 times the original cost. Now you're probably thinking, hey, wait, they're probably adding a bunch of value into this pack. So before you say it's not worth it, you need to do a little analysis. Hey, I'm glad you asked. I'll be happy to do that. So they're doing the ship 30 of the blueprint. The 30 blueprints is enough to basically get you a star on that ship. So you get it at the 2 stars, you can earn the 3rd, and then this will bump it to the 4th. And so it's going to do the same thing it's always done, which is accelerate the farming of a particular ship. So it kind of matters if the ship's good or not, is to whether you want to accelerate farming, although some whales are going to buy it regardless. Now you look at the rest of the pack, okay? We're going to look at what you get. The Mark 1, Mark 2, and Mark 3 abilities you can get a plethora of by simply just waiting. They build up. In fact, I have thousands. We're talking about 3,000 to 5,000 of each of those abilities. Not everyone has the kind of stockpile that I have, but most people that have played for at least a year, the last year, do. And so then we move on from that to the ship's ability omegas. Now this particular ship takes at least 65 omega pieces, with 8 being given to you. That almost takes 2 abilities up 1 level, because the omega abilities go up double levels, 2 levels. So the single first jump, you can almost do 2 of those. And then reinforcement materials, 25 to get it to its 2nd stage of reinforcement. And then the last stage is 75. You can get through farming naturally 25 reinforcement materials in about a week. So that's not horrible as far as getting that up. And the shipbuilding materials at 100K, a lot of people have quite a bit saved up already. The droids aren't even a factor. So when we look at this package, what we really see as most important is the 30 Sith Fighter blueprints and the 8 ability omega pieces. Now there's a second part of this pack for 30 bucks that you're going to get, and that is the Sith Assassin, the Mark 1, 2, and 3s, and the Omegas. 5 Omegas, that's the value, is the 5 Omegas, and the 50 Sith Assassin shards. So really what you're getting is shards for a character to unlock and the ship. And their goal with this was to make sure that when you unlock the ship, according to SP Crumb, that you'd be able to immediately play with it, because you'll have its pilot. Now, there's a couple of issues that I have with this pack. I have talked on the forums about those issues, but the first issue is most people up to this point already have Sith Assassin, and if they don't, just unlocking the Sith Assassin isn't enough to actually make her usable as a crew member. There's going to be a ton of development on that character, farming on that character, and more. And we all know you can't dump a 3-star ship into Arena and it work. In fact, all ships that have been less than 7 stars really haven't been viable at all. Surprisingly, with ships, stars make all the difference in the world. So we know you're going to have to whale out on this ship or skip it completely and wait for it to go free to play. For $30 to get a character you probably don't need, 1 ability upgrade with Omegas, some stuff you can get and probably already amassed a huge assortment of, and then the ship unlocked with 8 Omegas. I don't see the value. Now, they did say in this that it's something they're experimenting with, and they may change it in the future. What they're trying to say is they're going to look at the buying of the individual. If you see this value and you purchase it, then they will see it as something that they're going to replicate in the future. If this is something you don't see a value in, then you probably shouldn't purchase it. If you're wanting to know my personal opinion, I will be passing on this $30 pack. And I will tell you that is difficult for me because I need those ship Omegas and the regular Omegas like I need something more than anything in the world. Like, I desperately want and need those Omega packs and ship Omega packs to come back. The developers know my thoughts on that. But for this pack, I don't see it. Now, that's the logical side. The illogical side is the ship's so overpowered, so amazing, that who cares if the pack's a crappy deal? Let's get the ship. Now, that would all be predicated on the ship being super amazing and overpowered. So the second part of this video is right now, we're going to go see how this ship performs in comparison to what we currently already have. All right, now when you go in here into ships and you use the filtration system, you can look up health, protection, speed, potency, tenacity, basically any stat that's important. What you will notice when you do that is this ship, completely and utterly maxed out, falls in the absolute bottom half every single time on every single stat. That's not a vote of confidence for me when going in to use a ship, is when I look at its stats and I see where is it in relevance to all the other ships. I see it's slow, it doesn't have a lot of health, doesn't have a lot of protection, and it doesn't do a lot of damage, and I'm going, yikes, this is not starting off very good. But how it performs and its stats are different. If the stats show one thing and it performs another thing, then that may change my mind. So the basic is what this ship is all about. It's called Stifle, and it says it deals physical damage to a target enemy and inflicts healing immunity for 2 turns. Now the ship is on the bottom half for potency, so I'm worried about it actually applying. We'll see how it applies, but this could be the end of any kind of a tank when the tank isn't allowed to actually gain protection back or health back. And so because of that, this could be the end of taunting tanks. We'll see if it's really true or not, but on a basic to put healing immunity, that's the first ship to ever do that, and it's pretty amazing. The crew power is called First Strike, and it deals physical damage to a target enemy and inflicts health down for 2 turns. That's reducing the health pool. It says this attack deals 50% more damage if the target's below 50% health. Now, really quick, if a ship is below 50% health, it's dead in the next shot already anyway, even if you're hitting for a small amount. I've never had a ship under 50% health that didn't just get one-shotted by my ships, unless it had maybe defense up and it was a tank. Other than that, basically, this is kind of, it really should be anything below 100% health, if it was my opinion, because by the time it's crippled and it's under 50% health, we're talking 35, 40% health, the next shot is pretty much always going to kill the ship. So we'll see how much the crew damage does, but being able to shrink the health pool down and then do additional damage if it's under that 50% health is interesting, at least. And then there's a unique that's in here called Swarm Tactics, and it gives it Sith synergy. We're so excited, right? Because now we have multiple Sith ships in the game. This is super exciting. The Sith Fighter's attack ignores protection against debuffed enemies. And guess what? Your enemies are going to all be debuffed, right? Because you're going to run this with the TIE Advanced and some other ships that debuff. So it's going to ignore the protection, hitting them straight to health. So in theory, again, this is going to whittle down the health and is going to really help be able to do that damage. Now it says when the Sith ally deals damage to an enemy that's not at 100% health, and that's a really good chance because all these hits are going straight to health, reducing their health pool below 100%, which makes all the other Sith allies get this bonus, okay? So pretty much you should always get this bonus. Anytime you hit a ship that doesn't have that 100% health, you're going to gain foresight. That ship will gain foresight and defense penetration for 2 turns. Defense penetration is huge in this game. It also says when an enemy falls below 100% health, all Sith allies gain 25% turn meter. So this ship will speed your entire Sith team up pretty insane. It's a Sith fighter, can't score critical hits. So with this, the ship can't hit critically, but if it can hit high on just a normal hit, that's good. It gives defense penetration and foresight to your other Sith allies. It hits straight to health. It can hit twice as hard if it's hitting. It gives health down, and it even has a healing immunity on basic. They really believe, the developers really believe, this ship will spell the end of Biggs. Now, we will go against a Biggs in a minute. By the way, the conceptual art here, what's been realized, is absolutely amazing. I would love to give a shout out to anybody that was on the art team that did this. This is absolutely amazing. Looks wonderful. And like I said, if it performs great, then you're going to win us over and we're going to spend a lot more money than we really should have to on those packs. The last thing is a reinforcement. So it's called Extreme Maneuverability, and it says Sith Fighter gains foresight for 2 turns when a reinforced and when a Sith ally scores a critical hit. So when the Sith's hitting and getting crits, like Darth Vader, and when reinforced, it gets that foresight. Pretty good. It says, while Sith Fighter has foresight, it has plus 25% offense and loses 10% max health stacking at the start of each of the turns. And that starts actually at 20% health loss. So it kind of almost kills itself through this ability. So kind of crazy, but it does in theory give it more offense. So let's go ahead and battle it out. All right, so we're going to use the Executrix, and the reason is it has the best ultimate, although it's the slowest ultimate. It's the best ultimate to finish off a squad, and it gives potency up, which this ship is desperately going to need that potency up to be able to apply it, with it being in the very bottom for potency of ships, as well as offense up, which is really going to help pair or couple with that plus 25% offense, provided that it has foresight, as well as, of course, we all know when TIE Advanced comes in and gets that offense up, it is damage central. So let's try this team out. All right, that's your first sign that there's an issue, and that is their team got to go first. Their capital ship got to go first. In fact, the bugs are so slow, they're the 3 slowest ships in the game, that our ships as well are slower than that. So one of the strategies you're going to hear about is that you're going to have to get a faster ship in here, because they target, it seems like the AI always targets the Sith ship. I've done tons of battles this weekend, and this is kind of the results that I'm seeing. So we are going to go ahead and go right after the, let's see, let's do the Sun Fac. Let's try and get target locked down. And let's get some expose and some ability block. All right, ability block and 2 exposes. Now we have 2 abilities that we can play with. The basic, which should inflict healing immunity on its basic. And then, of course, the crew power right here, which will deal damage, inflict heal down, and then health down, and then also do additional damage if it has less than 50% health. So we're going to do this. And we got it right there. Pretty awesome. We've got the healing immunity, immune to healing, which is really good because going against these ships, they get tons of bonus protection. Now we're going to go ahead and stealth. We needed this desperately on Biggs. This is going to keep our ships alive. And with the Geos, they got a ton of shots. Now these shots, if you notice, go straight to health on this ship. And he's not able to regenerate his health and protection. Now we get to bring in our own. We're going to bring in Darth Vader's TIE Advanced. This is a mad damage dealer, and we're going to go ahead and use his special to remove that turn meter and shoot. This should do a decent amount of damage. Bam. Now notice I got defense penetration and foresight on Darth Vader. This is pretty awesome. Right there. So defense penetration up, which is pretty cool. It's plus 150%, plus 150 defense penetration. So pretty cool. And the ship is not healing because of the healing immunity. So there we go. Their tank is gone, and we now get to start to work on the others. Now we're not going to go after spy. We're going to go after soldier. Boom, hits the health. Boom. Now it's really hard for them to hit the TIE Advanced. Boom. There we go. Now it's 4-2. They're bringing in a reinforcement. We're going to go ahead and go. They're all stealth, so we get to target who we want. The Phantom 2 does a lot of damage, so let's go ahead and try and get rid of the Phantom 2. And there's healing immunity. And now offense up. This is going to be wonderful. And I want to see how much... There's 106,000 from Darth Vader. We're going to go ahead and reapply stealth, keeping everyone alive. We're going to go after Cassian now. That hits straight to health. We're going to go ahead and ability block and hit him again. And he's gone. So far, so good. Not too shabby. We're going to bring in another ship. The TIE Reaper, which, by the way, when maxed out, is still very viable. We're going to get rid of all their buffs. And we're going to do a basic. And it's not critting, but it is hitting for 30,000 on average. 30,000 is okay. With the offense up, it would be doing better. Also, you notice it has armor penetration and foresight up right now, kind of helping with its survivability. Now keep in mind, the ships that can hit through foresight, Biston's Ewing, which is very popular, and TIE Advanced, both of which can hit this ship regardless. And if you notice, this ship's been in critical condition since the beginning of this battle. And there you go. So we were able to beat the Geos, and you know, the Geos are tough to win against, but if you notice, this ship almost died. So because of that, we know you really need to have this ship completely and utterly maxed out. It's not a heavy hitter, but its kit is pretty amazing. So let's go ahead and do another battle just to make sure this wasn't a fluke. All right, this is kind of a weird team comp, but I've got to work with what I have. It's a Chimera, and then, of course, it's got the 2 target locking ties, and then it has the TIE Reaper in there. And you notice they immediately targeted this ship again. The AI is going to go after it hardcore and try and kill it. Now, we're going to try and provide a target lock, which we got. And now we're going to try to get expose as an ability block with this. Boom! Ability block and expose on all. Pretty awesome. And we got target lock. Enemy can't gain bonus effects. Pretty awesome. I haven't had an opportunity yet to even use First Strike because nobody ever gets to below 50% health unless they're dead already. So that was my point with this needs to be changed to less than 100%, because if you look, this ship is less than 100%, and this could be a really fun kill shot. But it won't be because it's not under 50% health. So we're going to go ahead and use this basic, which will put that healing immunity down. Got the healing immunity, very good. We're going to go ahead and stealth and put it on Biggs. Up, and there comes the heal, but he couldn't heal. Very good. That is very usable. All right, got the stun on me. Not so much fun. We're going to bring in Darth Vader. He's my MVP, always has been. When you're using the Executrix, we're going to go ahead and ability block, and he taunts again, but I should be able to hit for a decent amount. Whap, 40,000, 41,000. And he's still taunting, so I'm going to use basic, which puts healing immunity down. And now all the damage I do is going to stay put. And he's still... Oh, he's under 50% health. Here we go. Yeah! I get to finally use this ability. Super excited. All right, here we go. First strike. 37,000. 37,000. Okay, all right. Let's move. The kit is pretty good, you guys. The kit is pretty good. Slow, not a lot of damage. The kit is pretty good. Let's go ahead and keep going after this ship with healing immunity. And retribution is lovely. Let's go ahead and try and finish. Let's try and finish the Imperial TIE Fighter. There we go. And we're going to move to their TIE Silencer. Of course, it dodged because he had foresight. Whap. Boom. All right. Who am I going to stealth? Let's do this. Boom. Got to come in and hit him. He's got healing immunity. We're going to put offense up, and that's all she wrote. I can't wait to see the hit that Darth Vader does here in just a second. All right, let's... Bam! 95. Not too shabby. Put some healing immunity down, and let's go ahead and get rid of that turn meter. And again, we were able to win with relative ease. I will say that with balancing, when it comes to games and balancing, they know better than I do. But I will say, if you're just getting this pack to just leveled up 1 star and you don't have the crew member ready, you're not going to want to do this. So my Worth It series finale decision is, if you are going to totally and completely whale out on this ship and you already have Sith Assassin at gear 12, then this ship is worth it. If you are not going to do any more than this pack and you're just going to get the pack alone, this ship at 4 stars gets obliterated before turn 1, literally gets killed, blown up out of the sky before turn 1. So consider that you're going to have to really wail out completely to get the 7 stars. And if someone says you don't have to get the 7th star because of PvE, they're wrong. Even in PvE contests that I did, such as the nodes, some of the neutral nodes, it was the first ship to die very quickly. You need those 7 stars. And if it's territory battles, it's a new ship, you know you're going to have to platoon this bad boy in the 6th phase of territory battles, meaning you need the 7th star. Long story short, either don't worry about this ship and skip it, or totally and completely wail out on this ship. But there are many, many other ship options. You do not have to have this ship, and I don't see this ship spelling certain doom for the, tanks of the world. The healing immunity is pretty amazing, probably the best part of the kit, and foresight and armor penetration is pretty, or defense penetration is pretty amazing as well. So really cool kit. But what are your thoughts about the ship? Leave them in the comments down below, and keep your gaming on. Warrior out.